Are you wondering what to give your prom date for prom this year? What flowers to choose? Well, I'm here to help you out. I'm Heather, and I work here at Kuhn Flowers, and we put together beautiful things just for you. So let's get into it. So there's several choices that we could choose this prom season, and with it coming up so fast, I want you to be prepared because you have options, and options are always so wonderful, aren't they? I believe so. We have a wrist corsage that you could get your little prom date. We also have what is called a bouquet, which these bouquets right now are so in. If I had to choose, I would definitely choose this one, but I also like the wrist corsage too. So maybe you could get both. I don't know. It's just an option. So we do have several things to choose from. We have the wrist corsage, and we also have the cool boutonnière. See there's a little sticky on the back of it. You just pull it and stick it on your lapel and you're good to go. And you could get these matching as well, which makes it really, really nice for your pictures. So I just want to thank you so much to Glitter. It's called Glitter Company, who given us this lovely little bracelet, which we have several of, which are so nice. So you just put it on your wrist and just pinch it down and it's good to go. Those are so, so nice. And I just so appreciate the Glitter Ninja. That is what she's called. So we do have some of those in stock for you as well to choose from. So I'm going to get started today. So if you want to make prom flowers for your son or for your daughter, I'm going to show you how. So we have our little gem sticks, which you could get them from Kuhn Flowers because we do have them for sale, or you could buy them from your local hobby store, whichever you prefer, or maybe you have beads at home. I have thousands of beads at home, and I love using each of them for something special, especially in corsage work because it just pretties it up, and who doesn't like pretty, right? So I have these we're going to use today. We're going to use this ribbon, so I'm also going to show you how to make some bows. And these are our flowers. We're using a wide variety. This particular bouquet is a #1 seller for us because it has different colors in it. And if you're unaware of what flowers to get, I would suggest using this bouquet because it pretty much covers everything. But you can also add a pink bouquet. You could have a white bouquet. We could tailor it just for your prom date. So we're going to use our glue, not glitter. I have my scissors and of course my Fresh Touch there. So I'm going to get started. We have spray roses, hot pink, white roses. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay all this down on my table. And I have already cleaned all this stuff ahead of time, so I'm not wasting your time. You can go to your local florist and purchase these flowers, hint, hint, Kuhn Flowers. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. You could get them from the grocery store. It doesn't really matter to me where you get your flowers because I want you to love flowers. And if you start small, then you'll end up with something more expensive. So if you get used to spending $10 and $12, but when you start to love flowers, you're willing to put a little bit more money into that. So go ahead, buy your flowers wherever. I want you to love flowers because one day you're going to come see me. So that's great. So I've already cleaned all of these off, and I have a wide variety here. So we're going to keep the little delphinium in the vase. So I have Italian ruscus as well. So I have some Italian ruscus that I've already pre-cut. I have white roses, lavender roses, orange spray roses, pink spray roses, and hot pink spray roses. I also have limonium. Now, traditionally, normally, limonium probably has to be one of the flowers that stinks the worst. Like it really does stink. I would have to say maybe 30% of the time it doesn't. But if you get limonium like this and it does stink, I just take Febreze and I spray it with Febreze and it takes that smell right away. I love the color of this, so it's important that I use this because there's not very many flowers that have this texture to them, and I want to use this in my bouquet. So if you happen to get limonium and it stinks, just take some Febreze to it and you're good to go. So that is what we are working with today. Let me put my little wire over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little gem things and I want to make some loops. And I'm going to do this beforehand so then when I put it all together, I don't have to stop making it, put my bouquet down to make it. So I pinched it all together. See how it has loop, loop, loop? Now I'm going to take my bullion wire, which I love this bullion wire. This is fabulous wire. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to wrap it around here quite a few times. And since it's silver, you really can't see it. I'm going to wrap it around. Cut it off, and then I'm going to set this aside. We're going to do that one more time. I went ahead and looped it, looped it, looped it, and it gave me these tails. And I'm going to take my wire. I'm going to wrap my wire around the very top of it. Go around, 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 around. And then I'm going to twist tie it just like I would a bread twist tie. And I'm going to cut this off. And see, now I've put all this together. Now I'm going to pull this up. And now I have this right here. So I'm going to set those things aside. I'm going to make a bow. Now I'm going to make 2 bows for this, one for each side. And this bow is going to be pretty big, so it'll touch on both sides, so you won't notice one bow from the next. And you could use a much firmer, this is a nice firm ribbon. You want it to be able to curl like this because you know it will hold the shape of the bow. If it's super floppy, like if you get expensive satin, normally satin or super sheer ribbon, it does not hold its shape very well. So you definitely want something that's going to hold its shape. I went ahead and I left about 6 to 8 inches. I am going to make a loop like so, and I'm making this probably about 3 fingers and just going back and forth. I'm going to do it so I have 7 loops on each side. So far I have 4, 5, and this makes it nice and full. And that would be 6. One more. I think this has to be probably the most hard part of the whole thing is making a bow. And now I'm going to twist this just like I would a bread tie. And see, I have this little bow here. So I'm going to make one more. Going to leave about 7 to 8 inches because we're going to use these tails. These tails bring movement to the bouquet. And you can make your bouquet pretty much out of anything. And if they have a favorite color, a favorite flower, or if you have something in your yard that you would like to use that's blooming, don't hesitate to bring it in. Any florist should want to work with what you have. I know we would. We don't hesitate. If it means something special, we want your event to be special as well. Got 6 loops. Gotta make one more. And then we'll have 2 little bows that go on each side. And there we have our second bow. So I'm going to leave these right here and go on to making this. So when I pull all these together, we're just going to keep it pretty round and pretty simple. It's not a whole lot of technique. All these little prep things are way more, they take way more time than this part actually does. So I'm going to take my white, my pink, and my lavender, and now I'm going to add a little bit of the lemonium in here on all sides. I mean, I remember when prom, we used to have, I mean, I'm much old, I'm 51, so I'm way old, but our prom dates would give us corsages that were so big, and those are starting to come back around, believe it or not. And I'm going to add some orange to this bouquet, right along with this lavender rose right here. Add a little bit more of this lemonium. And see how it's coming together? Yes, these are so pretty. I think this has to be one of my favorite things to make. I love prom season. There's nothing greater. I think corsage work is my very favorite. I love making these. So when you order a corsage here at Kuhn's, just know that I love doing this for you. It's beautiful, and you can call and you can get customized corsage work. Our corsage work starts about $35 or $29.95, and then it goes on up from there. But if you want something special, I do have that available. We just don't put it out there too much. And those special corsages run about $69, $80, up to $80, but we have beautiful things to work with. Okay, so I added the hot pink in there. See how that pulled all that together? And these make beautiful pictures too. I mean, you spend a lot of money on those prom pictures. So why not have beautiful flowers to go with it? Okay, I have that there. Now I'm going to take my greens. I'm going to push all this aside. Now I'm going to put my Italian ruscus in there. And I'm just going to go along the edge of this. So it covers up some of the stems here. It is so much fun being able to work with flowers every day. Even when I'm at home, I think, I can't believe I get to do this. I'm thinking of ways to do something better. It's always on my mind. Always trying to make something new, something cool. Because as we get older, I mean, things change, trends change. And these little bouquets are really in this year. You see them all over the place in prom magazines. All right, and I think that looks good. And then you'll have to just look at it and think, okay, what else can I add to that? You know, the possibilities are endless. I'm going to move this out of the way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my little gems. I'm going to put this in the center, And see, I'm going to pull it through here. I'm not going to push it through my bouquet. I'm going to pull it. And be careful because these ones are kind of harsh. So if I pull really hard, it's going to tear my flowers. So I want to be careful of how hard I pull this through the bouquet. I'm going to turn my bouquet this way. And I'm going to put another one in on this side. And there's so many options. If you go to your local hobby store, like Hobby Lobby or Michael's, you can find a whole bunch of cool things to put in these. And don't hesitate to bring that into us because we can incorporate anything into these little bouquets for you. We want your day, your evening to be a special one. Okay, so we have those in there like so. See? Isn't that neat? Oh, we're almost done. Now I have these. So I'm going to open up my little wire. And I'm going to tie it off just like a bread tie. I'm going to pull it shut. Twist it. And I'm going to fold it down because I don't want to cut it because I don't want to have anything poking our little beauty, huh? I'm just going to fix this. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. And see how I made the bow big enough to where it looks like it goes all the way around. Hold it up. Now I'm just taking the time to fluff it. Oh, that's so cute. Ah, look at that. That is so darling. And see what I mean about the ribbon? If I had a floppier ribbon, this wouldn't look so like it had volume. You know, like when your hair is nice and bouncy and curly, it has volume. This particular ribbon has a lot of volume to it, so it makes it so much prettier. This ribbon right here has, it's pretty stiff. It doesn't have a lot of bounce to it, but it's more stiff, so the bow stays nice. This black ribbon that I used is not ideal for a bouquet like this because the bigger the bow, the floppier this becomes. So making sure that you have a ribbon that has a lot of volume and bounce to it and stiffness to it is very important for the look and feel of your bouquet. Once I have both of my sides done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this upside down. I'm going to take my ribbon. And now I want to finish it off. You want to have a soft handle for your little date there, or for your son's date. And I'm just going to twist this. I locked it underneath, and I'm just going to go around in circle. So it makes a nice little handle. And it gives her something soft to hold on to. We here at Kuhn Flowers offer classes once a month to help you learn how to do floral design. And it's so much fun. I have to say, last week when we had one, we had such a great turnout. It was a really nice class. And I want to encourage you to go to our website, call in the shop and ask for Lori, and sign up for those classes because it is fun. You get to learn a whole bunch of different things. If I can't teach you something I love to do, what good am I, right? I want you to love it just as much as I love it. So making sure that you get to any floral class is very important, especially if you really love it. And it's made easy. Trust me, it's made easy. The hardest thing sometimes is just the commitment of saying, I'm going to do it and fill it out. So you could call us here at Kuhn Flowers, talk to Lori. And I believe the classes are $65 and they are once a month on Tuesday from 6:30 to 8. So sign up. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it. Now with the bouquet, you always want to make sure that you have your 2 hands full. So you have 2 hands. So it doesn't look too short and it's just perfect. Now that I have all my little tails, I'm going to go ahead and take this out of this vase because I didn't bring up an extra vase. I'm going to set this inside of here for a second. And I'm going to put little love knots on the corners of these. Cut it off. And these little knots will give it a weight, some weight, so they'll bounce just a little bit better and keep them out of the way. And like I said before, you can order these here at Kuhn Flowers on our website. We have 3 of them to choose from, but you can order them in your colors. And if they have a favorite flower, don't hesitate to say, hey, her favorite flowers are Gerber daisies. Can you do one with Gerber daisies? And you know what my answer will be? Sure. We could do anything. We could make a bouquet with anything. Okay, one more to do. Okay. Now I'm going to take my blue delphinium and my glue. I want touches of blue in this bouquet as well. So I'm going to take the delphinium, take it off the stem. I'm going to pinch it right here at its bottom. I'm going to take some glue. This is floral adhesive. It dries just like rubber cement does. It has the same properties as rubber cement. So as it's wet, it doesn't have a lot of tack to it. But as it gets dry, as it dries more, it has a lot of tack to it. And it gets on everything. So I'm going to do several of these. And I'm letting it kind of air dry right now a little bit so it gets that tackiness to it. And this is going to add so much, a pop of color. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the first one I did. And I'm just going to start gluing these in here. And because I've glued at the base where I plucked the stem off at, because I glued, it locks and seals the moisture inside of this delphinium bloom. So I'm just going to go throughout and add these blooms to it. Oh, this adds so much color to it. And the texture of this is so pretty because you have soft round edges, and then you have the limonium, the wispiness of it, and the gems in it. I mean, it's just really, really, really pretty. Like I said, this has to be our favorite. This has to be a lot of people's favorite one because this is the one that gets sold the very most. Plus, it goes with everything. Everything. All right, one more. And there we have it. See our little bouquet? Isn't she beautiful? Oh, I love it. And I'm sure she's going to love it too. It makes such a nice, it makes such a nice gift for anybody that's going to prom. And wedding bouquets are made a little bit kind of like this. You could use the same concepts throughout. So if you wanted to make a bouquet, this is a perfect video just to show you this is how we kind of put them together. Obviously, wedding bouquets don't have all this ribbon in there unless you wanted it. That's your choice. I'm going to take my crowning glory and I'm going to spray my little flowers because we know that they're going to be out of water for the evening. And I'm going to let that dry. And then once it's dry, I'm going to put it in the cooler and wait for my customer to pick it up. So that gives us some options. So you have bouquets, hand bouquets that you can give your dates. You also have wrist corsages that you can give your date as well. This one is more premium. This has roses and orchids in it with gems. So this one is more of the, I believe, the $55 price point. So you can see it a little bit better, but it is quite lovely. It's quite beautiful. And then this is a boutonnière that you peel and stick and put it on your lapel. This one runs about $25 as well. As they get, I want to say, as they get more detail to them, they get more expensive. I have done wrist corsages for $125, but they're very, 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 very beautiful, and they have so much detail to them. So if you have the money to spend that much money and you don't have any trouble with that, I would suggest doing something a little bit upscale. First of all, they're fun to make, and I love seeing those come in. But second of all, they do have a lot of little things in them that make perfect keepsakes. You know, who doesn't have that one box at home that, you know, you have your first corsage in? Or, I mean, they just are really, really nice. So with that being said, I just want to tell you that you have several options to choose from this holiday. And for those of you that don't really want to spend that much money on them, we have something for you too. Not everything has to be over the top, but we do have corsages and boutonnières that are just as pretty with flowers in them as opposed to gems in them as well. So it really goes back to your preference. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask the questions online on this video and we'll get right back with you. Or if you want to talk to us here at Kuhn Flowers, you're more than welcome to do that. I want your options to stay open, and if you need help making your bouquet, I want this to be the place that you go. I'm Heather here with Kuhn Flowers, and I thank you so much for watching.